and welcome to my first online yoga flow. If this is your first time trying yoga, thanks for taking this time to try something new. If you're a more advanced yogi, I invite you to take this slower, more meditative pace to kind of come back to the basics and connect with yourself in a way that's maybe been challenging in the last few days. A couple of notes before we get started. One, I won't be using music throughout the class. I want you to be able to hear me. But if you would like to play music on your own, feel free to layer that on top. Also, in yoga, sometimes we use blocks to help as supports if the floor feels far away for our hands at any time. I don't have blocks at home. Some things that work really well are just two nice, big, heavy books. So if you want to have those handy, you may want them, you may not. It's your choice throughout the class. So we'll begin today in child's pose. So coming onto your mat with your toes towards the back of your space, knees out to the sides and reaching the fingertips forward towards the front of your mat. We'll rest here in child's pose for several rounds of breath as you begin to just settle into the space and into your mat. A reminder that distractions only have to impact our practice if we're expecting them not to show up. So dogs will bark, family members will talk. That's okay, just let them be part of your environment today and continue to focus on your breath. So here in child's pose, thinking about using your inhales to make yourself longer, maybe walking the fingertips a touch farther forward, and using your exhales to just sink down into your mat. As you keep all of that breath, slowly walk your fingertips over to the right side of your mat. Really reaching out through the left fingertips here, trying to keep your forehead and chest heavy as you feel a big side stretch on your left side. On your next inhale, walk your hands back through the center and do the same thing, just reaching over to the left. Reaching the right fingertips out forward and allowing that right hip to stay heavy towards your heel. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to the center, back to your child's pose. A reminder that throughout practice, you can always return to this child's pose when you need a break, a chance to catch your breath, or a chance to return to focus and intentioned breath. On your next inhale, press yourself up into table, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Look down at your mat so that the back of your neck stays long. We'll begin a few rounds of cat-cow. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your crown and your tail, stretching out the whole front side of your torso. On an exhale, reverse that, sending the spine up towards the ceiling, creating space between your shoulders. Inhale, drop it back into cow. Exhale into cat. We'll take two more of these, inhaling into cow. Exhale into cat. One more time, drop into your cow. Exhale, press the floor away from you as you curve into cat. Breathe back into a neutral spine. Begin to play with just a little bit of balance here. Press down through your left hand. Reach your right fingertips forward. If that feels okay, then send your left leg back. Flex your left foot, pointing your toes down towards your yoga mat. Big line of energy from your right fingertips to your left heel. And exhale, release it down. Other side. Start by reaching those left fingertips forward. And then if that feels okay, send the right heel back. Pointing the toes down towards the mat, flexing through the foot so that you're reaching and pressing with your heel. And exhale, bring everything back down to the mat. On your next inhale, walk your hands one handprint forward, tuck your toes under, and exhale to send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out through the feet in downward facing dog by bending in the right and left knees one at a time, knowing that all throughout the practice your heels never have to touch the floor and your knees never have to get straight in your down dog. Think more about pressing into your arms so that your sternum moves towards your thighs. Inhale, bend your knees, look towards your hands, and walk your feet forward to meet your hands, coming into an easy forward fold. Bend your knees in this first forward fold so that your fingertips can touch the mat or your books. Shake your head yes and no here, allowing the tension to come out of your upper back. It may feel good to take ragdoll pose, that's fingertips to opposite elbows, and just sway a little bit side to side. Bring your fingertips down to the mat, bend your knees even more, and roll it up to standing, taking it one vertebrae at a time, allowing your head to be the last. Step your feet close together at the top of your mat, either touching the big toes or leaving a sliver of space. On an inhale, sweep your fingertips up overhead. Exhale, swan dive back into your forward fold. Your knees can still be bent here. Inhale into a halfway lift. Fingertips come to shins, crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on the mat. One at a time, step your feet back into a high plank. Press down into the hands the same way you did in table. Option every time we come to plank to drop to your knees. From your plank, using an exhale, you'll lower down all the way to your belly with control. When you get there, untuck your toes, tops of the feet into the mat. Easy cobra. Inhale, crown of the head reaches up. And exhale, release it down. Press into your hands through table, tuck your toes, and come back to downward facing dog. We'll begin to move through that series a little quicker, matching breath to movement. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up to standing. Exhale, back into your forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. This time, flow through high to low plank and inhale into cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come all the way up to standing. One more time like that. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower down halfway and inhale into your up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way up to standing. This time, drop your right hand down and reach your left fingertips over, coming into a small side stretch. Inhale, reach up, and go the other way. Drop your left hand down, reach the right arm up. Inhale, allowing both hands to come up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Pull your elbows back and down, opening your collarbones. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, and take that vinyasa pattern. That's the high to mid plank. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And exhale back to down dog. Take a big inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Walk your feet closer together in the back. And inhale your right leg up and back. It does not have to go high, take it easy. And then bend your knee, drop your heel towards your right glute, sending your kneecap up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the toes up. Exhale, step the right foot between your hands. Square hips, toes pointing forward. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, coming into a high lunge. Drop your hips low into this lunge, but reach up and out of the waist. Try to take up space in every direction. As you exhale, open out into Warrior 2. In Warrior 2, our front leg stays exactly the same. Back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Drop your shoulders down and look over your front fingertips. On an inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, side stretch over that back leg. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, step your right leg back, and take your vinyasa pattern. Every time we come to down dog, take a big inhale and a big exhale. Toes together, reach your left leg up and back. Again, if you like, drop the left heel towards the left glute, opening the hip and pointing the knee towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the toes up. Exhale, step that foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, crescent lunge on the left. Again, sinking low into that left strong front leg. All 5 toes on the left foot pointing forward. As you exhale, take it into that Warrior 2. Think about strong arms. Imagine 5-pound weights hanging off your arms. They have to stay engaged. Inhale, flip the front palm. Again, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot, step it back, and take your plank. Inhale into up dog or cobra, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look towards your hands, step your feet forward into your forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come all the way up to standing facing the front of your mat. And exhale, bring your hands heart center. Place the weight into your heels towards the back of your body. Bend your knees, reach your fingertips up and find chair pose. Think about making the back of your body wide and straight. So think about not sinking into that low back. Weight stays in your heels to protect your knees. Exhale, let it go into a forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step it back, and take your vinyasa pattern. Know that you may skip this vinyasa pattern at any time and take it straight from your plank to your down dog. On an inhale, take your right leg up and back. This time around, ready, step that right foot between your hands. Inhale into your crescent high lunge. Exhale into your warrior 2, sinking low into that right leg. This time we'll try side angle. Take your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over. Think about creating a straight line from your left fingertips to your left foot. And open it out, back to warrior two. Stretch your front knee so your both legs are straight. Bump your hips to the left, reach forward first, and then drop your right hand to your right shin, coming into triangle. Reach the left arm up, an option to take your focus towards your left fingertips. Breathe and try to think of keeping a straight back. Think of leaning back like there's a wall supporting you behind you. One more round of breath. And exhale back into your warrior two. Bending deeply into that front knee. As you inhale, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Step it back. Either take your vinyasa or simply exhale back to downward facing dog. Big inhale and big exhale between sides. On your next inhale, take your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot through and inhale into your crescent lunge on the left. Dropping low into the hips. Stay low in that left leg as you exhale out into your warrior two. Again, we'll take side angle. Take the left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm reaches out on a diagonal. Try to keep both shoulders away from your ears, keeping your neck relaxed. Inhale, open it back out to your warrior two. Straighten your front knee, both legs straight. Bump your hips off to the right, reach forward. Here's triangle pose on the left. So your left hand is on your left shin, right fingertips reaching up to the ceiling. Option to take your focus towards your right fingertips. Again, imagining there's a wall supporting you behind you, so lean back. One more round of breath. Inhale, open it out to warrior two. Straight knee bends in the front. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame the front foot, step it back, optional vinyasa, or go right back to downward facing dog. We'll take one more variation of our sun salutation beat. On an inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Inhale into crescent lunge. Exhale, open it out to warrior two. We'll breathe right through it. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your front foot, left hand stays on the mat, on the inside of your right foot. Inhale your right fingertips up to the ceiling for a spinal twist. Try to open your shoulders. Exhale, release the right hand down. Step your right foot back. Either take a vinyasa or you may go right back to downward facing dog. Taking a big inhale and a big exhale. Next inhale, take your left leg up and back. This time, step your left foot between your hands. Inhale. Crescent lunge. Exhale out into your warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Frame the front foot. This time, right hand stays on the mat on the inside of your left foot. Inhale the left fingertips up to the ceiling for a spinal twist. Exhale, release hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back. Take an optional vinyasa or go right back to your downward facing dog. Next, inhale, that right leg comes up and back for one last time. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. This time, drop that back knee. Inhale your fingertips up. Exhale, take your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm off to the right. Taking a side stretch, you should feel a stretch in your left hip flexor. Inhale, bring both hands up and to the center. Exhale, frame the right foot. Step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Drop your back knee. Inhale the fingertips up. This time left forearm comes to left thigh. Reach the right fingertips off to the left. Big side stretch on the right side. Big hip flexor stretch on the right. Inhale, hands up to the center. Exhale, bring your hands down and step back to your downward facing dog. This time, drop your knees, come into child's pose. Send your hips back towards your heels. Begin to calm and slow your breath. Resting here for 2 more rounds of breath. Evening out those inhales and exhales, feeling that heart rate slow. From here, walk your hands back towards your knees and simply roll up so that you're sitting on your knees. Sit your hips to one side and swing your feet in front of you. Come down so that you're laying on your mat. Soles of the feet come to the mat, arms just rest easily by your sides. We'll take a couple rounds of bridge pose. So in bridge pose, you just press your heels down into the mat and lift your hips up off of your mat. Very gentle back bend here. Thinking of squeezing the knees into a parallel position so they're coming in towards one another, not splaying out to the sides. And release your hips down. We'll try that 2 more times. Press into your feet first, then lift your hips, pouring weight into your shoulders but not your neck. Sending your hip bones up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your breathing easy. Exhale to release down. We'll take 1 more round of pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, sending them as high as you can for this last round of bridge. Think about stretching from your shoulders to your knees. Exhale, release it down. Hug your knees into your chest, take your nose towards your knees. Rock forward and back a couple of times. And come up into a seat. Send your heels forward. Straight-ish legs, they can remain slightly bent for this entire stretch. Reach your fingertips up and just begin to fold over your legs. Maybe you reach for your thighs, maybe you reach for your shins, or maybe you reach for the outsides of your feet. Try to go as far as you can. When you feel like you've maximized that stretch, release your nose towards your knees. Easy here, beginning to slow things down. Hands to roll up all the way back to your seat. And we're coming back down to a flat back on the mat. Bend your knees once more, but this time take them about as wide as your mat, so much wider than we were in bridge pose. And just drop your knees right and left like windshield wipers. From now until the end of the practice, I recommend closing your eyes where you can. Focusing not on what you look like or what your environment looks like, but just how you feel. Knees fall to the right. Just let them stay there. Your arms out to the sides in the shape of a T. Thinking of sending the hips into a gentle twist that reaches all the way up to your left shoulder. Pull the knees up through the center. Readjust your hips and allow them to just fall over to the left. This time again, just letting those knees fall. Use gravity to take you into this position. Don't force it. And allow that twist to just ease all the way up the right side of your body. Come back to the center. Use those abdominals. One last time, hug your knees into your chest, pulling the nose towards the knees. Giving yourself a gentle hug. Release out into your final Shavasana. Shavasana is the pose in class where we allow ourselves to receive the gift of our practice, allow our body to absorb the work that we just did, the time and attention we just gave to ourselves. For the next 2 minutes, your only priority, the only thing you need to do is just breathe. Bring some easy movements back into your body, starting very small, maybe with the fingers and the toes. Maybe roll out the back of the head by dropping the ears right and left on your mat. Those movements larger, rolling out the wrists, flexing and pointing the feet, bending in the elbows. Body stretch, reaching the fingers up and overhead. Reach the toes away from you. So imagine you're being pulled in 2 directions to be as long as you can. Exhale, come to laying on one side of your body into fetal pose. And then use your arms to press up into a strong seat, facing the front of your space. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Taking one final cleansing breath to close out your practice. Big inhale through your nose. Open mouth exhale, let it go.